Once a month, Paula Pant, host of the Afford Anything podcast, answers voicemail questions the listeners send in. Here's one now.
Hi, Paul. This is Jason from Atlanta. I'm interested in investing in residential rental properties, and having not done this before, I'm considering a turnkey company. I'd love to get your take on turnkey real estate investing, pros and cons. Thanks.
Oh, dear. Okay. So a turnkey company, as background for the listeners who aren't familiar with this, turnkey companies are companies that will find, purchase, renovate, and in some cases, rent out a rental property for you so that, in theory, all you do is start collecting the paychecks. First and foremost, the hardest part of rental property investing is buying the right property. That's where 99% of people get it wrong. I made up that statistic right now, but that is really where the majority of people get it wrong. They don't buy the correct property. They get something that doesn't produce good enough cash returns. They get something that is in a neighborhood where the cap rate doesn't accurately reflect the risk. That's really where you want to put your time and effort. And a turnkey company, you know, the advantage that they have is local knowledge, but the disadvantage that they have, or I don't want to say the disadvantage from your perspective, is that they're running volume. They are not going to be, you know, as an individual investor, you're going to maybe look online at hundreds of listings and narrow it down to 10 or so of your favorites, and then make offers on those 10. And if an offer gets accepted and you go under contract for the property, then you fly out there and look at it. And in addition to that, you also hire two people, number one, an inspector, and number two, a general contractor. And you pay both of them to look through the property as well. The inspector is going to cost you between $300 to $500. The general contractor will cost you anywhere between $40 to $100 per hour. And that's just what you do when you buy a property. Even if you're buying a turnkey property, you're going to have to do the same thing. Don't buy the property without seeing it. You know, even if it's a turnkey property, you want to fly out there and look at it. You want to hire an independent inspector. Don't use one of theirs. And don't even use anybody that they recommend. Find one on your own. Hire that inspector, a licensed independent inspector, and pay them to look at that property. And in addition to that, hire a general contractor and pay that person to look at the property, because the inspector can tell you what's wrong, but he or she can't tell you how much that's going to cost. That's, you know, more the GC's line of area of expertise. So at any rate, my point being, regardless of whether you buy turnkey or not, it's your responsibility to do that due diligence. You're not going to be saving yourself from the due diligence by virtue of buying a turnkey property. If you think you are, and I'm not saying that you do, but to any listener who might be hoping that that's the case, that is not the part of this process that you should be trying to make passive. That is not the part of the process that you should be minimizing. The buying is the important part. It is the most important part. The reason that you're making cash flow for the next 20, 30, 40 years into the future is because you put all the work into the buying part. So that's the part that you don't skimp on.
Hey, did you enjoy this excerpt from the Afford Anything podcast? Then click to download our free ebook, Escape. You'll be taken to a page where you can enter your email for immediate access to everything you need to know about escaping the 9-to-5 grind to live life on your terms. And you can also subscribe with one simple click to get alerted when new videos are uploaded.